sure.
Right, I pressed it. It's recording.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, do we want to continue to discuss, or should I do some reading? What's the sense of the group here?
I have nothing else to say, so I'd be good with reading, but whatever other people think is best.
Yeah, it'd be nice to continue the book 4. If everybody else wants to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to continue, I think.
All right, let me get to conversation 9. Here we go. Okay, so this is on, we should be on page 59 of The Storm Before the Calm. And we're on conversation 9. A brand new priority for you and for humanity. So, Angela, I just think you need to go on mute.
Oh,
so
sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. A brand new priority for you and for humanity. Okay, let's talk some more nonsense. I just presented the 7 simple questions that I believe would, if asked at the right time, in the right place, ignite conversations that could change our world's view of itself. Now I know that there are some people who are not going to be interested in moving beyond the second question. You will recall that that question was, is it possible that there is something we do not fully understand about life, the understanding of which would change everything? If the majority of human beings say no, well, there's not much more for us to discuss. If most people believe that we as a species know everything right now that we need to know to create the lives that we wish to live, then exploration of new tools for the future will seem pointless. We can all just drop these inquiries, go on living our lives moment to moment, trying to get everything we want, working to give everyone we love what they want, hope for the best for ourselves, our children, and their children, and let it go at that. Yet, I have a different proposal to make. I want to suggest that the trick is not to keep trying to get for ourselves and give everyone else what is wanted. The trick is to change what is wanted. The trick is to set a brand new priority for ourselves. Now, if that's not enough to start a sprightly conversation in your home and in your community, then nothing is. You might start the conversation by saying, what do you think will happen if we all just changed what we want? What do you mean, change what we want? I mean exactly that. I mean change what it is you want for yourself and what you want to give to your loved ones. We shouldn't want peace, security. What did you have on that list before? Peace, security, opportunity, prosperity, happiness, and love. Yeah, we shouldn't want that? No, because if that's what you want, you're going to keep trying to produce that. No kidding. Well, as Dr. Phil would say, how's that been working for you? Yet, if what you want is something else, and you produce that, then your producing of that will give you this. I'm sorry, what the heck are you saying? I'm saying that we're going after the wrong thing. Most of us are trying to produce the wrong thing, and this is what we don't understand. The understanding of which would change everything. When we decide to change what we want, when we decide to produce the far more beneficial thing, the natural outcome will be that we'll also have what we were hoping to create before. I'm saying that these things that we all say as a species that we want are things we can have, but not very easily, not without a great deal of struggle. if you go about trying to get them the way we've been trying to get them.
Approach. I just say it works.
We're going after the wrong thing. Most of us are trying to produce the wrong thing.
It's time to start using fungi nail. Maximum strength fungi nail is so powerful it cures and prevents.
Can somebody who's host please mute this person that just joined us?
Robert, Robert, could you mute yourself, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't read with that noise in the background. I'm answering the question, how is it possible for an entire species to desire the same thing and be unable, after thousands of years of trying, to get it? I'm saying it is possible that we have not been able to get it after thousands of years because we've been trying to get it in a way that's not working. So what is a way that will work? My thought about it is that the way that will work is not to want the things we've been wanting at all. Instead of seeking and trying to create peace, prosperity, happiness, and all the rest, seek and try to create something much larger, which would be a knowledge and an experience of your real self, of who you really are. Go after that, and all the rest will follow. You've said a number of times here now that human beings are divine. Is that what you're getting at? I can't give you personal knowledge of your own true identity. Yes, I've given you my answer, but my answer is not important. It's not relevant to you, and it shouldn't be. Only your answer should be relevant to you. The problem is that in the past, many of us, most of us, have embraced other people's answers as if they were our own. Yet each person must finally answer the question for him or herself. While I know what my answer is, I am here just opening people to the question. Yet as people open this inquiry, I encourage them to consider all of the 7 simple questions, not just this one, and to explore them one after the other in order, just as I have done. Okay, so I've got to ask you, how do you come to give us these answers? What makes you think your answers are right? I hope this monologue has proven to be a good literary device, giving you an opportunity to see how you might respond when other people come to you with the same kinds of questions. For example, the questions just above are 2 questions that I get a lot, and you maybe ask them as well. I have always responded. Well, first of all, I'm not saying that my answers are right. I am simply asking, can we all agree that the answers we've been given in the past have not worked? And can we all agree that it might be beneficial to search for new ones together? So I've tried to make it very clear that there are no correct answers to these questions. The answers that are correct for you are the answers that you give. And you may give different answers at different times of your life, by the way. Yet I believe that if you wish to move forward in your own evolution, you must offer some answers. I will be offering some of my own as our conversation here continues. It feels to me that we ignore these questions at our peril. The world has ignored them and is in peril. And so I think the discussion is worthwhile. Perhaps. But what makes you think that you should lead it? I'm not trying to be agnostic and antagonistic here. I'm just wondering, where are you coming from with all of this? It's not so much where I'm coming from that you may wish to ponder, but where we're all going. Our planet and its people are in the process of evolving, and that process is speeding up. And if we're not careful, it's going to take us exactly where, for centuries, we've been heading. Where I'm coming from in all of this is a genuine desire to help humanity evolve by getting us moving toward the conversation of the century. I want to get a discussion going because I'm watching people who are dazed, sleepwalking. I'm watching a world not seeming to know what to do next. I'm watching an entire species that appears to be mystified as to how to proceed from here. No, it appears to be mystified about more than that. Our species seems to be unclear not only in how to proceed from here, but how we got here. And if we don't understand our past, we don't stand a good chance of understanding how to move more beneficially create our future. So in just a bit now, I'm going to give us a look at our past by sharing with you the basic elements of our old cultural story. It's important for us to look at this. See, what's happening now is that some of humanity is awakening, and more of humanity is about to be awakening. So I'd like to assist with that process. I think that many people would like to do that. Many are feeling the same impulse, the impulse to assist. They just don't know how to do that specifically. They don't know what kind of assistance they can offer. I'm simply creating a vehicle with which we can all do that. I'm offering the conversations movement and placing on the table a global discussion of a possible new cultural story. Hang on. I'm calling that discussion the conversation of the century. I'm placing it before the world at theglobalconversation.com. I see the whole thing as a beginning, a way to get us started, as a means of moving the energy. But now let me repeat that the ideas I talk about are not mine, but were given to me in conversations with God, and they have helped me tremendously. How could I not pass them off if I say that we're all companions on the journey? I've got to tell you that many other people throughout human history have claimed that they have spoken directly by God. They were spoken to directly by God. Or for that for some reason they were qualified to lead us. I was hoping this exchange between us was going to be different from religion or politics as usual. Oh, it is. Believe me, it is. What makes it different, totally different, is that I'm not claiming that the ideas I'm presenting here are the best ideas or the only ideas that can solve humanity's problems. But we need to start somewhere, and I think that it needs to be somewhere new. What I see is that as we try to solve our problems, we keep coming from the same place. We keep starting our thinking in the exact same spot, deep within our old cultural story. That's why we're not solving anything. We're not solving anything because we're not changing anything. Like hamsters on a wheel, we're running and running and getting nowhere. We need to get off the wheel. The idea of the conversations movement is to do just that. It is not to put forward the end-all ideas. It is the place before humanity, beginning of it all ideas. We're not solving anything because we're not changing anything. We want to be able to look back in 100 years and say that this was the beginning of it all. This was when we finally changed our approach. This was when people from all over the world said, enough. We're not going to, what we're doing is not working. There's got to be another way. Our job now, our opportunity, our exciting task is to place before the world a set of ideas from which a brand new discussion may begin. I'm going to propose some of these ideas right here in the conversations that we're about to get into in this book. Then readers from all over the planet can offer their thoughts and their ideas. That's what the website's about. Soon we'll have a global conversation going. It'll be the, I know, the conversation of the century. Yes. And it will offer humanity such a fresh new beginning with inspired input from people of every nation that this new start will launch a new era. In fact, hey, that's not a bad little slogan, a new start to launch a new era. One idea in particular could do just that. 15 words that turn everything upside down. Out of the 3,000 pages in the Conversations with God dialogues, one idea in particular jumped out at me. I knew as soon as I heard it that it was revolutionary, utterly, completely revolutionary. It's what I call a turnaround idea. If adopted, it would turn everything around. Talk about giving us a new start. Okay, I'll bite. What is it? God invited, dared, actually every minister, every priest, every rabbi, every ulama, every political party, every head of state, every corporate executive, every leader in every area of life to stand behind every pulpit, every political convention podium, every lectern, every desk, and every classroom and share a new gospel. God also predicted that none of those people, none of them would do it. Not a pope, not a president, not a prime minister, not a chief ulama, not a head of any political party, and certainly not a classroom teacher. No one would do it. Because this is not something that in our present society we would dare to teach our children. It is not something we would dare to tell our congregations. And it is not something we would even imagine putting in our political party's platform. Oh, for goodness sake, what is it that's such a showstopper? It's two simple sentences, a mere 15 words. But if its message were embraced by the world, that world would be magnificently altered. The new gospel proposed by Conversations with God is, we are all one. Ours is not a better way. Ours is merely another way. Okay. Well, yes, well, that's interesting, especially the last part. It's an interesting idea. I'm going to read it again because the spacing on it is actually a little different, and I don't know why. We are all one. Ours is not a better way. Ours is merely not her way. I don't know if everybody's spacing on it is different, and I don't know if that's intentional. Continuing. But if people or political parties or religions don't believe they have a better way, why bother offering it? Is that a fair question? If people feel a deep conviction, shouldn't they speak out? That's a very fair question. So let me answer it by saying that the problem with people speaking out their deepest convictions is not the speaking out itself, but the implied message that is often not too well hidden beneath those convictions, which is that they are absolutely right and that their way is the best way. When I asked the same question you asked me, you know what I received in the CWG dialogue? This. Because you can't have a better religion or a better political party or a better economic system. Does that mean you should not have any at all? Must you know that yours will be a better picture before you pick up a brush and paint? Can it not be simply another picture, another expression of beauty? Must a rose be better than an iris in order to justify its existence? I tell you this, you are all flowers in the garden of the gods. Shall we turn the garden under because no one is more beautiful than another? Hang on. You have done exactly that. And then you lament, where have all the flowers gone? You are all the notes in the celestial symphony. Shall we decline to play the music because one note is no more crucial than another? But we're talking about problem solving here, solving problems here. That's all very poetic. But we have to implement ideas, not just talk about them. And of course, we want to implement the best idea. And if we think ours is the best, we have to be able to say that, don't we? Well, certainly. Yet saying that you think it is one thing. Insisting on it is another. Will you excuse me for being a bit of old-fashioned wisdom here? My father used to tell me, son, 2 heads are better than 1. If people spoke from their conviction, yet allowed that they might not necessarily have all the answers or the best solutions, but simply said that they seem to have see the same problems that we all do, and if they made it clear that they were genuinely interested in opening a dialogue to see if combining ideas might produce terrific answers, then we'd have something helpful. Yet if people speak from their conviction in a way that makes it clear they're totally convinced that what they believe is absolutely, positively, without a doubt right about everything, then we have another matter altogether. And if they treat your opinions and your very person not as if you simply hold a different opinion, but as if you are just plain ignorant or worse yet, evil, then we have not just another matter, we have another problem. We've created a problem in order to solve a problem. And that's what's happening right now. It's the polarization that we talked about earlier. It's normal to the process of an era ending. That doesn't mean we have to go forward in the same way. So the new gospel is a different way of going forward. What is being discussed here in this conversation is another way we might do things, another way of being human. Not the only way, not the best way, but another way. This is an exploration, not a declaration, an invitation, not a proclamation, an observation, not a notification. Our gentle observation is this: what we've been doing is no longer working. There's some doubt it ever worked. And then we ask a gentle question: is it necessary for us to continue with it? Now, I see we're close to the end, so I am going to push through. We might run a minute or two over. I've gathered some great suggestions on how not to continue it, ideas that have emerged from many sources over the years, and I've put them in part 2 of this book. I hope you'll explore them with me. But first, I think it is only fair that I answer the 7 simple questions just the way I'm asking you to. Not that my answers are any more important than anyone else's, and certainly not any more accurate or right. But if I'm asking you to play, I've got to play. So my answers are next. Points I hope you will remember. The way for humanity to make life work is to change what it wants. A knowledge and an experience of your real self is what would be of great benefit to seek. We are not solving anything on the planet because we are not changing anything on the planet in terms of who we think we are and how we think we should be functioning. There is a new gospel that would change everything if we would simply embrace it. Action, I hope you will take. Change what you want in life. Decide right now that it's not about safety or security or even happiness or prosperity or love. Decide what you want is to truly know and experience yourself as who you really are. As you move through the world, and especially after you seek to know and express yourself as who you really are, remember and embrace the new gospel. Repeat it often to others and invite others to often repeat it to even more. End of chapter.
Thank you, Linda.
And I think it's fascinating, the congruence of these different teachers that I follow, because I feel as if Matt's description of our sense of separation, that where we're really conjoined with God and not separated from God, I feel as if that is the underpinning of what Neil is talking about. Neil and God are talking about here. Like if we were to each really truly understand ourselves, wouldn't that start the change that we're really looking for in the world?
Understand, but also accept and like love, you know? I think so much bad stuff happens because people feel like, because people feel like they're supposed to be something that's out of alignment with who they are. Right. Got it. So maybe my revision is unnecessary if we all just start working on getting into alignment with who we are and being that, expressing that. Over.
I think it's good to be reminded of that, Mary, all the time. We keep forgetting. I need to be reminded of these things. So please say it as often as you can.
It's, for me, the self-love thing has been like the biggest thing in my life. Just learning how to be 100% on my own side, back myself up. You know, I remember the first time I was sort of sitting there crying, feeling like I'm a total mess who messed up big time. And it was like, that's okay. I still 100% love me and support me in this experience. It was revolutionary.
I was just thinking that, you know, we need to come from a place of compassion. That's where the acceptance, loving kindness, this sound healing I was talking about last week, you know, it's a way of, you start to understand, it's a way of getting inside your own body and making a relationship with what's inside of ourselves. And that's a whole, you know, we have like the magnificence of the trees and everything outside. Well, we have a magnificence inside, an environment that we don't know anything about, but there's a way of relating to it, and that develops the love for the creation that we've been gifted, both internally and externally. So that is a way to work. And if anybody wanted, we could do one sound healing to expand our hearts. If anybody felt they wanted to do it, you just need to be sitting comfortably and making a sound into your own body. I could show you if you wanted. You could see.
Why don't you go ahead and do that, since we don't have Shivani here for the
Okay.
meditation,
So
I don't think.
Can
Okay,
I just interrupt? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to leave, but I'm just wondering because I'm the host. Do I need to do anything?
No, now I'm the host. I'm the host
Oh,
now.
great, great. I'm sorry to miss it, Anne, but I have to leave now.
Okay.
Maybe we
Sorry,
can do
Anne.
it some other. Maybe you can show me some other time.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Lovely.
we do it again if people like it. If people want to participate. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. If people.
Bye, Angela.
Bye,
Bye.
Angela. Thank you.
Bye.
So if people are okay with it, okay. So what the point of it is, you're sounding into your own organs, in order to make a vibration to activate the capacity. And the capacity, so if we just do the heart, we're told by many different places that the heart is where we need to express from. But we don't even know we have a heart, and we don't even know our own heart. We just saw one in a book, in a medical book. So this is not the heart that's inside of ourselves. So so there are 3 different sounds, and I'll make the sound in the first place. So if you put your microphone off, otherwise it's going to sound funny. If I just, it doesn't matter what you sound like. Don't worry about what sound you make. It's about making a vibration and a connection with your heart internally. So you like loosen your cheekbones, and you sit comfortably, and you breathe in, and the first sound I'm making is for the physical heart. So so I'm going to make it first, and you can listen, and then we'll make it 3 times together, and you can make it with me. So the sound is sheen, sheen. So it goes like this. So you breathe in, sheen. Okay. So I'm sounding into my own heart, and you're sounding into your own heart. So if you put off your microphone, then you'll hear, you won't have a problem. Okay, so you can follow with me this time. Okay, so breathe in deeply, okay? So breathe in deeply. So breathe in deeply. So noticing, relaxing and noticing. And you can put your hand on your heart in your central area. So just relaxing and noticing for a minute. The second sound we're making is for the emotional heart. And it's she-ong. So I'll do it first, and then we can do it together 3 times. So, okay, so breathing in deeply. It doesn't matter how you sound, it's you making the sound internally and connecting with your organ of the heart to make the vibration. This is where the healing comes. So breathe in deeply. So breathe in deeply. So breathe in deeply. So just noticing, relaxing and noticing. Drop your shoulders, relaxing. The third sound is for the mental, spiritual aspect of the heart, and it's a lower sounding sheen, very low. So I'll show you first. So breathing in. Sheen. So relaxing, breathing in deeply. Breathing in deeply. Breathing in deeply. So relaxing, relaxing and noticing and feeling all the sensations and feelings that are inside of us, both comfortable and uncomfortable. So that's the three sounds for the opening of the heart, and we can see how we feel internally in response to what we've done. Thank you.
Thanks, Anne.
Thank you, Anne. I liked it. My cat was not so sure. She's only lived with me a few months, so it's hard for me to get a read on what's going on with her. But as I practice it more, maybe it'll become clear.
Thank you, Anne.
What happened with the cat? Did the cat run away or?
She was sitting on a chair a couple feet away, and she just looked at me with this very startled look. And then every time that the sound happened, she was sort of like that. So I said, it's okay. And then on the last one, she came over here by me, and I was just petting her a little bit.
Oh.
So she seems chill now. But she hasn't ever heard me make a sound like that before, I guess. I sing a lot, but I haven't been doing any kind of chanting. And I'm sure she felt the vibration too, because she's a very sensitive little being, So, I mean, I've known some animals who were into like Reiki. I do Reiki. And some of them are like, no, stay away from me with that voodoo. So I don't know who she is yet.
The animals are very, the animals hear the sound more than we do. So, yeah, it communicates with them.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very sensitive little baby.
Well, anything else? Robert, do you want to share something?
We can't hear him.
I'm not hearing you. I see you're unmuted, but we're not getting any audio. Do you have it turned up? Maybe put it in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know. We can't hear you. We're not hearing you. We'd love to hear you. Now your video's gone as well. Well, thank you, Anne. That was a nice compliment to today's reading. And I guess if there isn't anything else, I'll go. I've seen the net's gone, so I'll go ahead and end this, I guess, and we'll meet next week. We'll be on conversation 10, right?
Thank you, Linda.
Conversation 10. Okay, gals. Thank you. Robert, sorry we could never get the audio to work. But thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll join us again next week.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you all.
Love you too.